I want to cover a couple of rules and regulations on how we're going to play the Herbalife game as we go forward so that we keep the integrity to the company and so on. And it's particularly important that this group understands it. For some of you, it'll seem a little mundane, but you know what? It's real interesting. Even when I meet with the president's team and go over some of this stuff, they still got questions on some of these particular rules and stuff. It's very important that you guys understand some of the rules that glue the company together, because you're the ones that are going to have to teach it. You're the ones that are going to have to communicate it. You're the ones that are going to have to get it to someone else who's going to speak it in another language. And you've got to be able to operate these businesses far beyond what I'm doing from the top, okay? Anybody that's not a resident, that's outside of a country that's legally open, they can sign a distributor application, but they must have a residence in a country in which we're open, okay? So if some guy from India wants to sign up, can they sign up? Yes. Where do they have to have an address? In any one of 24 countries in which we're open, okay? Now, just because this person has an address, can they now do any business in India? No, period. Can a person in India sign up an application in France and do business in America? Yes. Can he sign up on an app in the United States and do business in Germany? Yes. Okay? So that's the way the applications work. This international game, okay, that we're playing changes from time to time. Okay? And you guys are just going to have to get used to the changes, all right? Why does Herbalife change the rules from time to time? There's only one reason why we change the rules. Different laws, different things that hit us, different situations that change from time to time. We have to make certain that the company is legally protected. We're not kidding around about this Philippines thing. We just got our products approved there. We're just in the process of opening the company up and so on. This means you cannot go over there and do business until the company says open, okay? Because what will end up happening is someone goes over there, does something illegal, does some kind of advertising that knocks us out of the ball game, does something wrong with the product, does something wrong with the marketing structure, and all of a sudden we're almost at the approval date, and bang, we're another year away from opening. We're just at the edge of opening that country up. If you hear about someone doing some stuff, okay, let's do yourself a favor. Let's find out if it's true, okay, not rumor, not jealousy, not the fact that someone's check's bigger than yours, not the fact that, oh my goodness, you know, they got to the president's team in 9 months and they must be doing something wrong, so, you know, this and that and the other thing, bonus this, bonus that. You know, there's so much money around here, a lot of people are getting greedy, okay, and jealous about some of the stuff that's happening in the company, okay? But if you find out if it's something accurate, okay, here's what I'd like you to do with it. Please just communicate it with the company and we'll take care of it. We got to have time to get our company better than it is, bigger than it is, the systems better than they are, to sparkle so that when we're ready for this worldwide movement, the company looks the same everywhere, it's got a good image everywhere, and we can take this company over the next 5 years and we can make it sparkle so that we're proud of it, our people are proud of it, our children are proud of it, the governments are proud of it, we got no legal problems, okay, and we make the thing shine. That's what we need to do. What is a country allowed to sell when it's legally open? Only what's in their country and that's legal to sell, okay? Remember something, that we have financial responsibilities to each one of these governments. As we open up, there has to be a formal company there, and the products that are sold within that country, the government expects us to pay taxes on. It's part of being a good corporate citizen. So if you guys or your guys want to end up getting bad articles, bad press, problems with the government, and people sneaking around getting people locked up in jail, just go ahead and import some illegal products from the illegal countries and keep selling them and stuff like that. And I know sometimes it's difficult. We have to make certain that we keep within the laws of the land in which we're doing business. There is no company that's going on a worldwide basis the way that we are and allowing their distributors to earn cash on every one of those companies on a worldwide basis. There is nobody else doing that. And we need to understand that there's some difficulties with that, there's some problems with that, and also, the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. What about, you know, if I'm somebody and I just bring in a little bit of stuff into India for personal use? Okay? The answer is no. Right? And the reason the answer is no is because there's so many people that we've got, okay, out of the 1 million people that we got in Herbalife, if all of them said, by the way, you can just have a little bit for personal use, well, let me clue you in what's going in across the border. 75,000 truckloads full of personal use, okay? And pretty soon you got the same problem. A problem that's a product that's illegally labeled, illegally formulated, illegally this, illegally that, and pretty soon there's newspaper articles about Herbalife's doing business in India illegally. It's a scam, it's a bad deal, and we got to go in and spend the majority of our time cleaning it up, not building it. You can't say the name of the company in an advertisement. You can't. Now, this is America, okay? Canada, you know, you got your own rules and stuff like that. Mexico, you guys know you got your own rules. South America, you guys know you got your own rules. This is America only, where we're safe, okay? Everything's okay, no problems, okay? Name of the product, in Australia, you guys know what you got to do, okay? This is for America, all right? No name of the products, no name of the company, no misleading claims on the products, no time frame on how many pounds in how many days, and no misleading deals on the income. Change of sponsorship through just individuals, change of sponsorship through husband and wives, change of sponsorship through partnerships, and every which way you can finagle your way out of trying to cheat your sponsor out of cash. We need to talk about it so you guys are clear about it, so that you understand that you have got rules that you've got to play with, and that the company is going to protect all of you at all times, okay? No matter what. I don't care who the distributor is, how big they are, okay? We're going to protect you guys from yourselves whether you like it or not. If it's a dual application, when will we catch it? Right away, okay? Because it's all numbered and so on. Okay? But if it's not a dual application, and Mr. Businessman, with all his smart knowledge, and Mr. President's team member, with all their genius of the tricks, okay, are signing up all these different people in these different organizations through the different children, through the different partnerships, through the different thises and thatses of the world, and so on. And now they're down here building, okay? During this process, Herbalife might not find out, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's not the same application. We're not seeing the problem and so on, and there's a problem that starts going on. Here's what happens every single time, okay? A gets a mailer, and she ends up at the extravaganza. She's sitting out there in the audience, still a supervisor, okay? And she can't believe it that B is up here with the girlfriend standing on stage getting their president's team pin. And she says, I can't believe it. If that person's on the president's team, my check should be 10 grand a month. I wonder what the deal is. She ends up calling the home office. What is the home office going to do? A, we're going to investigate. Now, the investigation may take some time because we're going to investigate no matter how tricky this person is. We'll go to every length that we can, from calling every single person that was ever signed up to investigating the bank accounts, how the checks were cashed, their tax returns, you name it, we're going to find out about it. And what are we going to do? No matter when it is, no matter what the time frame, no matter how long ago it was, all the volume gets switched back over to A, who was supposed to have earned money on it, A1, who was supposed to have earned money on it, A2, who was supposed to have earned money on it, and in some cases, A3, who was supposed to have earned money on it, including A number 50, who might have been getting a slip down 2% or 6% bonus on it, and we will not only move the volume back, we'll move the positions back, and we'll move the money back. If you get into a problem on a change of sponsorship, here's what you do. Give it to the company, bug us every 30 days, and go get another 25 supervisors. Protect yourselves. Remember I told you here that there was a couple things yesterday that you had to do when you're making money, okay? Number one, you got to fight to make the money that you make. Number two, you got to fight to keep the money that you get. Okay? And that's part of this deal over here, because when you got one of these new countries that open up in like a Spanish language or something like that, it's easy for these guys to be signing different applications. Here's one thing you can always count on Herbalife for is we'll do the right thing by you guys. Okay? Every single thing is not always black and white. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of circumstances, a lot of things that can happen, but we do the right thing. This company has never made its decisions on the cash that it makes. It has always made its decisions on what's best for the people. Remember, you guys are building your own Herbalife dynasties on top of what I'm building also. Okay? And my reputation is no different than your reputation. Okay? Your group listens to you based on who you are, and what you've done in the past. Okay? And so if you want to look at how they're following you, look at what you're doing. So if it was me, leadership always says, do what's best for the group, not what's best for my pocketbook. The partnership's no different than the boyfriend-girlfriend deal or the this or that or the other thing, all that kind of stuff. See, the thing that you got to realize is that a contract to me and someone who's working the distributorship who's not even on the distributorship is still an implied contract. Sign up on a contract. You're locked there. Okay? You're stuck in that contract with that group. Okay? For all the terms of the contract. All right? No matter what, unless the three upline earning supervisors, okay, release that person, because who has got the rights to that downline? The people who are in that line that are earning income off of it. What do you guys do? Okay, what do you guys do if you're afraid, okay, about a meeting, okay, and a person, and you think they're going to get robbed? What do you guys do? Okay, make certain that they're on your application first. If that means you've got to get them a German application, get them a German application. If that means you're so scared that you've got to buy an Australian distributor kit and put in the mail an Australian distributor application, okay, and the guy signs up on the Australian distributor application and later on applies for a change of address, is that what I would do? I'd do everything I could to, number one, fight for the money that I get and protect the money that I get. That's what I would be doing. What needs to happen at an Herbalife business meeting is Herbalife. What needs to be talked about are our products. What needs to be talked about is our philosophy. What needs to be talked about is our business opportunity. Okay? Anything other than that is going in the wrong direction. Okay? We don't discriminate against anybody. The second thing that you've got to realize, it's bad and stupid business to reject anybody for anything. Okay, regardless of their sex, regardless of their religion, regardless of their color of skin, regardless of their background, regardless of what religion they're involved in, and regardless of what the situation is, okay? Because if you build your business that way, you're going in a serious wrong direction. This also goes for multi-levels, okay? We say that you as an individual have the right to involve your first line in another business, since that's your business. Everybody got that? Right? We don't like it, but that's the situation. But if you try to involve your second line, you're not allowed to go and talk to your second line. Why? Because maybe you get paid on that, but you didn't develop that business. Your first line did. So if you go start attacking your second line to try to get them involved in something else, okay, or you're now invading the privacy of the person who sponsored them. We say you can't do that, all right? If you go raid anybody else's organization and start getting them into the thing, okay? There's a couple of things that happen. Number one, you can't participate in production bonuses. And number two, when we find out about it, okay, and you guys let us in on the know on it, there's most of the time, okay, if the organization's getting real hurt, we'll stop the checks, okay, even though it may not be able to be done in some areas, okay? You guys get it to us. We feel serious about it. We'll hold up the money and try to slow up the process, okay, of these guys raiding your organization. Smoking in these deals and stuff like that, okay? You guys got to start remembering who and what you are. Jim Rowan said something at the end of the deal here that was very important. Sometimes you guys don't realize what impact you have on the people that you're around because you've been living with yourself day to day to day to day, and you're becoming more. People are seeing you different. People are respecting you different, and sometimes you don't even realize yourself who and what you are have an impact on a lot of people that you're around, okay? So you guys have to be very mindful, okay, of what you're doing, how you look, how you dress, how you act, what you do in front of people that you're around. This includes doing stuff that's not necessarily great looking for our business. Let's start acting like millionaires. Let's start thinking like millionaires. Let's start being millionaires before we get there and stuff like that. That's what I had to do, okay? I had to start talking about millions before there was millions. I had to start talking about big checks before there was big checks. I had to start talking about big business before there was big business. Okay, let's start being more than what we are, and at the same time, let's be mindful of what we are. There's a couple of ways to recruit that I just want to remind you of here. No question, one way is first-line recruiting. But there's also what's called secondary recruiting. So my goal always was, after I went through my circle of influence, doing every single thing I could to try to first-line recruit, which meant I was doing everything, by the way. And for those of you that don't do everything, you should at least know everything as leaders so that you can pass out the menu to everybody. What do I mean by that? Some of you, if you don't ever learn this, fine. Can you get rich without what I'm telling you? Yes. Can you get richer with what I'm going to tell you? No question about it. Some of you are good at only handing out flyers. That's what you are good at. Some of you are good at only doing flyers to get first-line recruiting going on. Some of you are good at only getting people in front of the HBN network, and that's what's making it happen for you. Some of you are good at just getting people one-on-one. You do presentations one-on-one, okay? And that's what gets you first-line recruiting. Some of you are good at doing this mailing program that you got going on, okay? This direct mail response deal that some of you are doing out here in the audience. And that's what's making it score for you, okay? There's a lot of different things. Some of you only recruit off your buttons. But I'll tell you what you're going to make a big mistake at as leaders if you don't know. Knowing the menu. See, if you only continually be good at flyers, and that's all you ever tell anybody about, flyers, 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 flyers. Guess what? Out of 10 people, there's going to be 7 of them that don't like flyers, that join your companies. And there's going to be, because they're all going to be different types. Some are going to like flyers. Some are going to like ads. Some are going to like one-on-one. Some of them are going to like the buttons. Some are going to like watching the television set. Some of them are going to like doing one-on-ones or using the direct mailing program. They're all going to like doing different things. And unless you know the menu, your advantages go way down on how you can attract people to the company. So make sure that you, even if you're not using the menu, that you know how to tell somebody about the menu. See, it doesn't make any difference if you don't use the menu. See, there's lots of stuff, myself personally, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do this direct mail program that some of you are doing. I couldn't do it. Me personally. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that I wouldn't do it. Okay? Me personally, I love the flyers. Me personally, I love the advertisements. Advertisements is how I built my business. Okay? Talking first line here right at the moment. That's what I love to do. But that's not the only thing I teach. Because if I did, guess what some people would have not done? Ads and flyers. Because some of my people didn't have the money to do the ads. Some of them were scared to answer the telephones. but they would put on their button because it was already in their kit and paid for, and they actually got to the president's team through the button retailing the product, and they mostly retailed the product and then turned them into distributors and got to the top, and that's how they got to the top. So make sure, as leaders, when you're doing your training classes, that you know enough about the menu so that you can attract every kind of person that there is, so that you can put them all on stage, so that they can all tell the results of the different parts of the menu, so that somebody in the audience says, I like that. If that guy can do it, I can do it. That's a secret. Now see, make sure that you get that one, because if you don't get the menu, it's not that you can't get rich, it just means that you're not going to get rich as quick. Why has Mark Hughes been able to become so incredibly wealthy? Because I am so incredibly free and loose oriented. I'm not fixed to anything. It doesn't make any difference to me as long as it's ethical, as long as it's not against the law, as long as it's not tricking somebody, as long as it's got to do with using the products. Wearing something means anything. A button, a cap, a flyer, a sign, it doesn't make any difference. It's the concept. And as long as you're talking to me means anything that's talking. Talking means talking. So, but if you get fixed to something, I've heard people say to me, well, listen, bad deal about this direct mail program and stuff like that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a mailing program, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, okay? There's nothing wrong with this particular method of operation or that method of operation or this method of operation. Here's the only problem that there ever is with any particular method of operation, is if you start doing something other than what's in the philosophy. For instance, like trying to change the marketing concept. In other words, you add something to the marketing plan or add something extra to the concept that tries to make you some little extra money someplace, somehow, somewhere. Like, for instance, maybe books and tapes, okay? And you start making that one of the issues of your program, and you make that one of the big deals instead of using the products, wearing the button, and talking to people. Or making money on the meetings. Or making money any other way. See, as long as you keep it flexible and it stays within the concept, that's important, because then you're able to get anybody. And that means when I say talk about this philosophy, I'm very serious about it, okay? Because anything that you do outside of the norm, okay, other than using, wearing, and talking, you're going to make a serious mistake. Making anything other than the issue of those three things, and you're going to make a mistake, okay? You could say use, wear, talk, and then religion. I don't care what your religious beliefs are, okay? Have every kind of religious belief you want to. But if you start making that part of your pitch, okay, and you start making that part of your program, guess who you just didn't get? We have one mission here in Herbalife, if you haven't recognized it. It is making a better world for people to live in. Taking better nutrition to the world, okay? That is our mission statement, okay? Everybody's got the freedom of believing in everything that they want, okay? But it's not use the products, wear the button, use the products, wear the button, talk to people, and see the Pope, okay? Because when it's use the products, wear the button, talk to people, see the Pope, guess who you're not going to get? The Jewish community. You see? The Arabics that are going to be involved in the company, okay? Any kind of person that you want to talk about.
It's freedom of your choice to do with whatever your life that you want it to be. But if you really want to affect the world, you've got to be loose about it and not put out your other hang-ups on other people.